Okay, super quick decode. It's another $1 bill decode. It's not this dollar bill. I've just brought this up just so you can see. You know, here's our little owl up here. Okay, and the fold that I show everybody. I think maybe the most important fold in here is this fold where this part of the shield comes over and joins up here with the O. Okay, I'll try and show you it later in the video and clarify some bits and bobs, but for right now I want to keep this video short, so we're going to be rattling through this real quick, and I'm going to have to miss out some bits and bobs here, because some of my videos get real long-winded with me just waffling, and I just want to get straight to the point. Okay, this pattern. Okay, let's go to a different dollar bill. Okay, well, there's the same pattern, but it's more of a spider web affair on this side. Keep going. Okay, this is an early $1 bill. I think this is maybe the first $1 bill, right? Okay, this looks like the first one with George Washington on. Interestingly, we've got the this cross, which I'd call the cross of St. Andrew, which is actually one of the most, it's an important cross that is in our in this table. Okay, I've shown you this before. I'm not going to go through it right now, but very quickly, you remember the Madonna video where there was the word pub. Here's our 9, 11, 8 of pub. Flip that 9 to a P. The 11 symbolism is also a U, and this 8 becomes a B. Pub. It was in the Madonna video. Okay, underneath that in the Madonna video was a 35. Okay, or 53. So we have a dollar bill that's referencing this cross, I believe, the same as Madonna referenced it in the Jump video. Okay, and we also had the reference to the Queen's death, you know, kind of following this axis in the in that Jump video. Okay, so without getting too waffly on that, because I don't want to go on about it, because we're not even talking about this dollar bill. Let's get to the dollar bill that I want to talk about. No, and it's not this one either, but can you see the patterns now are starting to develop? Okay, they're kind of using that. If we just have a quick look at this, and the reason why I'm going to look at this one actually and talk about it as well is because the same set of numbers are in here as well. We've got the Vesica Pisces here, and we've got that same pattern in here. Okay, I'm actually going to go to a different dollar bill because I've actually got it up on a different dollar bill. But if you look, again, this is the spider web that's on one side of the dollar bill, and this is this kind of more of a net type thing that's on the other side of the dollar bill. Okay, in fact, I could zoom in, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Let's go to the next dollar bill. And we're going to look at this number here. Okay, it's written the same way. I think it's a little bit more, it's not quite exactly the same, but it's very, very similar. Okay, let me go to the next one. Oh, don't tell me we can't go to the next one. Oh, hang on a minute, I've got to get off the, okay, this one. Now this one, the reason why I want to look at this one, let me zoom it in just a little bit. Come on. I've actually got this in Paint right now, and I'm going to do a bit of writing over the top of it, but this is the one we want to look at. And in fact, I think I've got it bigger in Paint, so we'll just go straight to Paint. Okay, because this number's written, I don't know if it's exactly the same or whether it's just been changed, altered a little bit, I'm not sure. It looks pretty much the same though, but this is also interesting, this pattern here. Let's go to Paint. Come on, go on. Okay, I've got it in here. Now immediately you can kind of see, you can probably see what I can see. This kind of serpent head up the top of here. Okay, so we have this idea of the snake at the top, right? This is the same sort of net pattern that's on the current dollar bill, right? What got me looking at this really to begin with was the idea, actually, look at this. We've got one winged angel over here, and on the other side we've got another winged angel here. And it just, I'm like, two winged angels, the Hoover Dam, you know. But anyway, that really got me looking at it. And this serpent here is like, wow, that's pretty interesting as well. And I'm looking at this and I immediately see that this spells out a different number other than the number 1. The way this is written, it's pretty actually obvious. Immediately I saw this, I'm like, there's 613 right there. Okay. But there's also, not only is it a 613, but it's also, if we flip it around, let's do that real quick. Rotate 180. Okay, let's find it again. When we flip it around, let me draw it in. We have a 3, 1. Oh gosh, let's not have it like that. Come on. 3, 1, 9. Okay. Oh dear, oh dear. I wish I could just draw these things without it. You know, why can't I could do with like a stylus thing. That's better. 319. Okay. 319 right there. And interestingly, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing these two big eyes here, and this nose like this. Okay, and I'm thinking, you know, the 2 eyes, yeah, and this, oh dear, and this nose like that. I'm thinking owl right here. It'd been great if they'd had some kind of ears. This almost looks like an owl as well on this other side as well. I don't know. But what's interesting about this end of the dollar bill, it's quite subtle. Well, let me get rid of that rubbish there a minute. If you look at this pattern here and this pattern here, oh, I don't know. No, I'm just grasping at stuff now. Forget that. But what I would say is that if you look at the bottom of this, okay, this end's balanced. Okay, we've got, this is symmetrical, and this end isn't. Okay, so that might be a subtle hint about this end being this way up being the wrong way, and this way being the awakened way. You know, is this an owl? Is it a bear? Is it, what the hell is this thing? I don't know. Any ideas, please? What you get from that? But anyway, this number 319. Get to the point, Dan. 319. Let's go look at the 319th day of the year, and lo and behold, it's the 15th, which will be shortly to be today here in just a few minutes. In fact, this will probably upload on the 15th because it takes a little while for me to get a video switched over, and the longer it is, the longer it takes. So let's get straight to the point. Couple of interesting things with this number here. Okay, we're 5 days after the 10th. Okay, which, so what? But our two important numbers, I'm going to say two of our important numbers are the 5 and this 8 here. Okay, the 58 or 85. Yeah, Back to the Future 1985. 58 and 85, super important, and they reference both of these columns, right? So that's one thing to remember. Because we've gone 5 days on, and then if we go 8 days on, we're at another special date, which is 11/18. Let me show you again. 11/18 is our middle balance point for the whole thing. Okay, super important day. Why is it so important? Because it's the balance for the whole chart, right? I'll tell you what else is interesting. If we go to here, 322, that is the 322nd day of the year, this day, okay, the 18th of November. And our 199 here happens to be the 18th of July, right here as well, okay. And this 123 321 could, there's a couple other combinations what this could be, but the 321st, the 321 days of the year gone is actually you need this one here as well, but it's 11/17, okay, and 11/17 is the twin date for this day here. Okay, the 13th of February. Boy, this really goes round in circles here. So all of these numbers here are days of the year basically for these numbers here. Pretty impressive, I think. What else is impressive? Darn it, I've lost my train of thought now. Anyway, with that being said, maybe that's a good thing. I lost my train of thought, so we can just get on with our the rest of this. On that first, on the original, on the dollar bill that we've got right now, okay, below Washington, okay. A minute. Shall I go to it real quick? If we remember, below Washington we've got 5 bearers, 5 bearers, 8 leaves, 8 leaves, okay. So 5 and 8 is encoded here, because don't forget Washington makes this ruffle here. When this is folded, when you follow these fold markers here, this creates the overflowing dam, okay, and we have a 5 and an 8 and an 8 and a 5 referenced with this thing right here, okay. Pretty important, because we are, when this thing joins over, we are 5 days after it and we are 8 days after it for two important, well, at least one of them is important. The 11/18 is very important, but of course the 115 is the same numbers that is encoded in this thing over and over again, with the 155 jump up the top of here, and there's at least a couple of references to the 5th of November in here as well. Okay, so remember the 5th of November, again, that's the same set of numbers as let me show you. Hang on a minute. No, actually, I did want to be on that. I want to go to this. But you know, the 5th of November, okay. You know, like the 15th is almost like the same day as this day, because the 10th, okay, is almost like the same day as the 1st, because this is a 111, 111, and this again is a 111 because it's a 10. Get rid of the 0, 11. Okay, so we have the 5th. So this 5th of November is kind of the same as this, and this 9/11 that's here, the 9th of November, is kind of the same as the 31st, Halloween. So you go Halloween, Eve, the Eve of All Saints Day, All Hallows Eve. So you have the Eve Day, and then the day of Adam or Christ or man, or you know, the living man, the rebirth day, okay, 111. Okay, and so we have a similar thing going on here from this day on to remember the 5th of November here. Same numbers again, 5, just got an extra 1 in there now, and then 4 days inclusive, we're into our 11/18, another super important number in the whole table, you know, like in the middle of the table there. So, oh dear, you know, pretty interesting to say the least, that this day is kind of referenced in another dollar bill. We've already had 316. Nothing happened. The only thing I can think that happened on that day was, I think I saw on one of my channels that I occasionally watch, there was a mid-air collision down in Dallas. That I could probably look at, but I can't be bothered to look at it really and do a decode on it. But I think there was an air show and they had a big, I think 6 guys were killed. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, what else did I want to say about this? So again, I don't know. Something going to happen the 15th. Something going to happen on the 18th. Of course, the 18th is the huge day, really, in terms of balance. But the 15th, I don't know. Interesting thing about the 15th, there's 46 here. Let me show you something here as well. With that Madonna reference, we've got a lot of 77 being referenced, and that's on each side of there. Okay, and 7,700 days from 9/11 takes us to the 11th of October. Yeah, so we've got the 9/11 here, if you can follow my cursor, and if we go 77, that's on the outside of there, pretty sure it was 7,700 days, that will take us to the 11th of October. Okay, and we have to use this 8 as October here. Okay, which again takes us back to the center of this table with the 111. Okay, the 3 ones that are at the center of the table. Now, if we go 773 days, which is on the corner of this cube here, this 5x5 cube, we're losing where I'm at, and we add this 3 in as well and go 7730 days, 7,730 days, it will take us to, again, back to another, it takes us to the 10th of November, okay, another 111 day, right? If we go 7, I can't remember if it was, I couldn't remember now if it was, yeah, 3-5 days, it should be 3-5, that will take us to the 15th, let me show you, or it will take us to another day if we do 5-3, 5-3 will take us to this day here, the 3rd of December, but if we go 3-5, let's go look at it, let's put it in the thingy. Okay, I've got some interesting numbers in here, but let's backtrack first, and then we'll go back to the 11th, and let's make it. I have to do this. I've got to put 0, 1 in. Okay, and then let's do our. And let me show you those jumps real quick. 7,700 days. Okay, the 11th of October. If we go 7730 now, which is on one side of that square in the table, as our November the 10th, right? And if we go 3-5, it's November the 15th. So I thought that was pretty interesting, especially as that was in that Madonna video. Whether they were referenced, they actually was referenced as 3F, so that's 3-5. So that was the actual reference in the Madonna video. Potential day for Madonna to die, I suppose. I don't know. Anything else to say about this? If we do the 5-3, okay, 3rd December, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So, and again, that's in the table. So just some interesting stuff with these number jumps. That's this day in the table. So that day was going to go to basically and this 5 here. Oh, it would just do it well, and that 5 there. So this thing here, and then when we go the extra couple of days again, extra few days, 3 days, we're going to get to the 18th, which is also above here as well. This 8. We'll have an 11 and an 8 here. So it's pretty interesting, I think. A couple of other things to mention, maybe. This is interesting as well. 5-1 here, and then our 11th. Our 11 is here. Okay, so there's a 1-5. Remember how I said before you can use this kind of like a times table chart to kind of reference things. So there's our 1511. Okay, and it comes out at 364. Okay, that's the last number in the Queen's column here. Okay, so this 364 reference with this and this 1115 is referencing the last number that's in the Queen's, well, I'll call it the Queen's column now, the 11 column, her death date, her burial, and her birthday, basically, or 9/11. Interestingly enough, 364 right there. And how am I going to explain this? 364 is, if we just switch those numbers around, right? If we went 361, right, which would be the same numbers as, and coincidentally as well, it's the same numbers as this here, 361, which is the bottom of this, and it's also this number here is also, I don't have it written in here, but it's also the total for the 7 column as well. So 139, which would also be 361, happens to be 4 days inclusive in front of this day here. Yeah. So if we were to count on from this now and say that this was, let me explain. This is getting a little bit complicated. How do I want to explain this? Let's go to this. If this is 361 right here, 362, 363, 364. So do you follow that? If this was 361, just switch those numbers around, and then we were counting on 362, 364, 362, 363, and 364. Sorry, it's like 11. It's almost 12 o'clock at night, and I should have been in bed about an hour ago. So this is almost like that last number kind of hidden in here. That last number jump. I don't know. It's pretty convoluted, but it kind of makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else, that, but so there's lots of little things you can do here, and of course we're probably looking for a 4-day resurrection thing, the idea of Lazarus. Okay, so again, boy, 319, okay, right here, and again into the table. 319 is super important because that same set of numbers, we've got it right here at the bottom of this is the 95 or 59 reference. It's also the total for this, for the 7 column, and also it's 4 days inclusive before this thing. Yeah, 361. Don't know. I think that's it. I think that's the video. Hope that's not too long. Oh, let me show you them other number jumps as well real quick. Hang on, because yeah, that isn't the end of the video. What am I talking about? Let's put our magic number of May the 21st in. Again, that's from the table, and it's also from the dartboard. It's from a bunch of other places. But anyway, this is our magic number, May the 21st. We want to do some, and I guess we could change that back to this year. It's not really, doesn't really matter. It'll be the same. But number jumps. Okay, so 173, which was at the bottom of the dartboard. And in fact, I might as well chuck that in here now as well while we're at it. This is our 173. Yeah, 172. Okay, and then 173 brings us to this point right at the bottom, opposite the 20. Okay, so we've got the 2 and the 3 aligning here. Okay, the 2 converted into the Holy Trinity. So anyway, this is 173. So let me show you 173. 173 goes to our other magic number, the 10th of November. Okay, the 1 with the 0, yeah, that balancing number. Okay, the completion of a cycle and those two things together. Let's do the gematria of George Washington now. We've got to change it though. That's the only thing. It's not 187 now. It's 178. So those are those numbers as well that are in the middle of here. 178. Okay, are in the middle of the table. Okay, we're just going to use them 1, 7, and 8 in that order. So when we put that in, click to calculate, that gets us to the 15th. Okay, that's our 15th, which again, super interesting. And if we do 181, which is our 11/8 or it's 18 reference, that takes us to the 18th of November. Okay, so again, pretty interesting. What else do I want to say? That dog's kind of distracting me, barking out there. I think that was it for interesting. Oh, one last little one. I can't remember what it was, whether it was interesting or not. 193. I don't think this was interesting. Oh yes, it was. What am I doing? Yeah, 193. The 30th, the Great Scott. Okay, this is another number that's encoded in the dollar bill. Okay, and there's also encoded on our table with that the X. Again, the X is number 10, but it's also the St. Andrew cross. And again, interesting, super interesting. I think I'm going to call it a day on that one, because otherwise this video will be just way too long. But anyway, yes, that's, to me, that's the sort of number we're looking at, the 319. And if we flip it, oh, one more interesting thing about 319. 319, oh, 319. What was this on 319? I had actually a thing up on it. Let's just go to this real quick. Is 319 factors of 319? Okay, so it's not prime, but our factors, okay, get rid of 1, don't need that, but 11 and 29. 11 times 29, 11 times 29, 139. Why is that important? Because, anyway, these add up. 11 plus 18, of course, is 29, and if you add up 1 and 1, it's 2, and if you add up 1 and 8, it's 9. Okay, so 29, of course, is a great way of encoding 1118. Okay, whoa, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? I think that's it for the decode. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. I'm going to end it there, and I'll try and catch you on the next one. Alright, thanks very much, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, right, bye. Very quickly, forgot to mention this, but we did our 173 jump from 521, okay, and that took us to the 10th of November. Okay, well, what's right adjoining this thing, because this is 173, sorry, and what's adjoining it? 319. Okay, I wanted to point that out. So there's our 319 kind of adjoining the 1110 number there, the 10th of November. So that's one thing that I forgot to mention. Next thing I forgot to mention was I forgot to go to this thing. This is like the completion fold, where this is the completion of the cycle, and the other number that we have on the completion of the cycle is this. I've just outlined it here, this 8 and the 1 1. Okay, I'll get rid of that so you can just see it a little bit clearer without that stuff on there. But this forms the 8 here, with the 1 and the 1 inside it, and I guess you can call this another 1 right here as well. And of course, phallic symbol again, but this is what this is. 8 11, 18 11. Okay. So I just wanted to mention that as well, because are we coming up to is the I don't know, is the 15th going to be like the precursor event to the 18th? I'm not sure. I don't know. One more thing to mention about the 15th. Sorry, November the 15th is the 46th day of the year. If we go from the other way, so let's go to 46. And actually, did I remember to? I think there's another thing I forgot about the 46th there. Anyway, the 46th day of the year. Here it is, 3/19/46. It's the 15th of February. Okay, 215. 215. Yeah, our same set of numbers that's at the top of the dartboard. Yeah, 215. That's our 215 right there. And our 215, of course, is a reference to Christ's birthday, and I believe it's a reference to the kind of reverse of that is the reference to the start of the matrix. So again, important. And this final thing that I forgot to mention, I think I forgot to mention it, I don't know, maybe either that or you'll end up hearing it twice, but this 7-7, the 7700 day jump, okay, getting from 9/11 to the 10th, not to the 10th, to the 11th of October, and then we've got this jump as well, but this 77, okay, right here, where does the 77 show up as well? Okay, here's the 77 in here between the 4 and the 6. So the 4, 6, 46 is referencing 77. Another interesting about that is Madonna is 64 this year as well. So again, are we going to have a Madonna death? I keep going on about it. It's not happened, but it probably won't happen, but whatever. I'm just showing you these references, okay? And that's the end of the video. So the 15th today, I would, again, it's another one of those days I'd keep my eyes and ears peeled, and the 18th as well will be this will be another day to watch, and so it goes on. Surely at some point, well, by the end of this year, if nothing's happened, then either nothing's ever going to happen, or it's just the wrong year. I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you on the next one. Right, cheers, bye.